Hey guys! Today we'll be covering a 2019 romance film called President and Housemaid. Sheng Yuming is the young heir and future president of the global Shenggu Group. The movie opens up with Uncle Chow, Ming's caretaker and confidant of his parents, reminding him to change his spoiled ways and become serious in life so he can take over the family's empire next month. However, Ming is not one bit interested in business and wants to become a musician instead. Uncle Chow replies that Ming is the only son of the family, and his parents have placed all their hopes on him. As they go back and forth, a girl named Xia Jinxin places her purse on their parked car to receive a call from her auntie. The latter complains to Xin about money that she was supposed to send for her father's treatment. Xin calms her auntie down and tells her that she will send money after her scheduled job interview today. She too starts going back and forth with her auntie, and just then, Ming's car starts leaving with her purse. Once Xin realizes this, she hangs up the call and starts running after the speeding car. Ming eventually notices her and mistakes her for one of his one-night stands, who he thinks is following him for money. He orders his driver to speed up, but Xin takes a shortcut through the park and jumps on the road, forcing the car to stop. Without thinking twice, Ming rolls down his window and throws money at Xin before telling her to leave him alone. At first, this puzzles Xin, but she soon gets irritated. She curses him out, saying that not every girl follows him for his money, before walking away with her purse. Ming is angered by her words and orders Uncle Chow to find out her full name. Lo and behold, when Xin shows up for the job interview, she realizes that the company is owned by Ming's family. She tries to avoid being seen by Ming, but he eventually notices her and calls her out. Later that night, Chow shows up at Xin's house and offers her a job. He wants her to become a personal maid to Ming because she can speak up to him and does not tolerate his insults. Expectedly, Xin turns down the job and shows Chow the door. However, Chow calms her down and explains that she only has to work for a month. He further reveals that he's aware of her father's health and has already paid for his hospital bills, which she wouldn't be able to pay even after working for 5 years. Xin finally begins to realize that this is her only chance to save her father's life and herself from debt, so she reluctantly accepts the job. She also signs a non-disclosure agreement with Chow, which prohibits her from telling anyone about her conversation with him, including Ming. The next morning when Xin serves Ming breakfast, the latter is taken aback and immediately calls for his uncle. Chow appears and explains that Xin was sent to work for him by their company, and if they fire her without any valid reason, she could go to court and damage their reputation. Unable to fire her directly, Ming takes her to play football with him and repeatedly strikes her with the football, wearing her out. Afterwards, when Xin goes to take a shower, Ming turns off the water. This enrages Xin and she confronts Ming. However, he tells her that if she's having a hard time, she can simply quit the job. At night, Xin calls her friend Su Yao and tells her about her woes. Despite coming from different classes, Su Yao and Xin are really close friends. After hearing her friend out, Su Yao complains to Xin about her fiancé, revealing that she doesn't love him and she only got engaged to him because of family pressure. The next day, Chow introduces Ming to a man named Liao, who will groom him for the biggest stage of his life. Liao takes Ming to a designer who helps him find a suit for his big day. When Ming walks out in his designer suit, Xin finds herself admiring him. Afterwards, Liao tries to teach him everything about the company. However, Ming gets bored and starts playing games on his mobile phone. Xin snitches on him, and as a result, Ming gets in trouble. To get back at Xin, Ming flirts with her, and when she gets flattered, he mocks her for being attracted to him. However, this makes Ming realize that he has feelings for Xin. Later, Ming decides to give Xin a makeover and sends her over to his fashion designer. Xin couldn't be more excited about trying on new dresses, but when she returns home, she finds Ming with her friend Su Yao. It turns out Ming is Su Yao's fiancé. Seeing Xin get close to Ming, Su Yao gets jealous and makes it clear to Xin that she plans on getting married to Ming. Upset, Xin walks out. Ming tries to follow her, but Su Yao stops him and reminds him that they are engaged to be married. Frustrated, Ming storms out of the room. This enrages Su Yao and she declares to herself that Ming belongs to her and she won't let Xin take him away. Meanwhile, Xin is heartbroken and she drinks to cope with her pain. When Ming calls to check up on her, she yells at him and tells him she is quitting her job. In no time, Xin gets a call from her aunt who reminds her that she has hospital bills to pay and she can't quit her job. Hearing this, Xin swallows her pride and returns back to Ming's house. In the next scene, Ming tells her to go away, but Xin apologizes for everything she said and promises to follow his every order. Ming eventually accepts her apology, but then drags her to a dark room and locks her inside as punishment. Xin pleads with him to let her out, but it all falls on deaf ears. She eventually accepts the punishment and looks around the dark room with a flashlight. There, she comes across a guitar and some awards Ming won for singing. Xin begins to sympathize with him after she realizes that although his family has given him everything, they also took something away from him. The next day when Ming opens the door, he finds Xin asleep and realizes that she has contracted a fever. Concerned, he carries her to his bedroom and takes care of her. Later that day, when Shin wakes up, she finds Ming asleep by her side. Alarmed, she kicks him out of bed and demands an explanation. Ming explains that he carried her to his room because she had a fever, and when he proceeded to leave, she held onto his arm so he had to sleep by her side. Shin then asks him about his musical diploma, but he tells her to mind her own business. Despite this, Shin tells him that people should chase their dreams or their lives will become meaningless. This makes Shin realize how rich people have maids and drivers, but they still don't have time to chase their dreams. In the next scene, Shin decides to give Ming a taste of ordinary life and takes him to ride a metro. Afterwards, they go to a local restaurant and eat to their heart's content. On their way back home, they talk about Ming's aspirations, and Shin asks him to sing for her. Shin borrows a street singer's guitar, and Ming serenades her with a beautiful song. This brings them closer, and they end the night with a kiss. Unfortunately, an unidentified person takes a picture of them kissing. The next day, Shin cooks for Ming, but before they can enjoy the food, Shin gets a call from her aunt. The latter tells her that her father's health has worsened, prompting her to leave in a hurry. However, when she returns home, she learns that her father is fine. Suddenly, Su Yao appears from the other room, and it turns out she paid Shin's aunt to call her back home. Su Yao has also found out about the contract Shin signed with Chow. She then shouts at Shin, mentioning that she doesn't deserve Ming and that she should leave him alone. Shin retorts that they are madly in love with each other, while Su Yao doesn't even like Ming. Su Yao replies that she doesn't care, adding that Ming's family will never accept Shin as their daughter-in-law. Su Yao also reminds Shin that Ming will get upset after he learns about the NDA she signed with Chow. However, Shin is confident that Ming will understand if she explains it to him. Su Yao then offers more money to Shin and asks her to break up with Ming. Shin is reluctant, but her greedy aunt guilt-trips her into accepting the offer. Meanwhile, Ming continues to blow up Shin's phone, but she doesn't return his calls. Soon, Su Yao arrives and tells Ming that Shin only came into his life for money. This enrages Ming, and he tells Su Yao to stop playing tricks on him, prompting Su Yao to immediately show him the NDA Shin signed with Chow to prove herself. Ming is shocked by the revelation, and he calls Shin to confirm. However, when Shin doesn't pick up his call, Su Yao offers to call her. On the phone, Shin tells Ming that she doesn't love him and asks him to forget about her, adding that she only came into his life for his money. This breaks Ming's heart, and he tears up. Later that night, Su Yao is seen talking to her father on the phone. She informs him that she has driven Shin away from Ming. She also assures him that she will take Ming down in his weakest moment. It turns out that the father and daughter want to take over Shanggu Empire. Surprisingly, Chow overhears the conversation and threatens to expose her. However, the cunning Su Yao runs him over with their car and kills him. A month passes by, and Ming and Su Yao are on much better terms. One day, they encounter Shin at a restaurant where she works. When Shin takes their order, Su Yao tries to give her a huge tip. However, Shin turns it down, saying that she doesn't live on alms. Despite this, Su Yao continues to tease Shin on their way out as she gives her an invitation to their wedding next month. Shin is not able to hold herself together, and she breaks into tears. That night, Ming gets a call from someone, which seems to surprise him. The movie then cuts to the wedding day. The officiant asks Ming if he takes Su Yao as his wife, and he surprises the guests by saying no. This enrages her, and she demands to know why he said no. Suddenly, Chow, who seems to have somehow survived, appears in a wheelchair and exposes Su Yao. Ming then apologizes to the guests and leaves. He decides to pursue his passion and takes part in a charity concert. Shin happens to attend the concert, and she breaks into tears when she sees him singing. She leaves after his performance, but Ming notices her and goes after her. The movie ends as the two reconcile and embrace.